YouTube, Facebook, and Apple, all announcing they're removing his content from their platforms. Here's how YouTube explained its decision. Quote, "When users violate policies repeatedly, like our policies against hate speech and harassment or our terms prohibiting circumvention of our enforcement measures, we terminate their accounts."
Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Bring it, I will fucking end you. I make a good living off my main YouTube. I have a good business relationship with YouTube and Google. I have a good business relationship with YouTube and Google. When you have a group in Congress and the Senate who can't come up with a balanced budget, they can't balance the budget, we should automatically, we as the taxpayers need to vote this in, they should automatically all be executed. All their families executed, execute all of their offspring, all their children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, wipe their entire family line out as punishment. You arrest and execute the police chiefs for treason. You are aiding and abetting foreign invaders. You are giving safe passage to foreign invaders. That's treason. It's punishable by death under federal law. You round up those police chiefs, you round up their mayors, you charge them with treason, you execute them.
When users violate policies repeatedly, like our policies against hate speech, we terminate their accounts.
Why haven't we gathered up all the Saudi Arabian nationals in this country? We did it with Japan. In Japan, we took away everyone's basic rights. We can't claim that people have rights when they're the enemy, or you think they're the enemy. What did we do to the Japanese Americans who were born here of Japanese descent? We put them all in internment camps. Well, we know Saudi Arabia is the enemy. We know they're the enemy. Why aren't we doing something about their nationals in our country? Why aren't we putting them into camps and shipping them back, deporting them, putting them into camps, doing something about them? We should have seized all Saudi Arabian assets in this country, declared war on Saudi Arabia, rounded up every one of their citizens living in our country and executed them on public television, and then fired multiple nuclear warheads at that country. We should have destroyed them. We should have literally wiped that goddamn country off the map. They should have gotten nukes, and we should have executed every single citizen of their country sitting in our country and seized all of their assets.
Hate speech.
That's Texas. Even worse, we're really serious about revenge here. We're the type of people that we will just tell Obama, fuck you, you're a Muslim and a terrorist yourself. We're not going to listen to you. They just attacked us here, and we manufacture all of your nukes. We already have our own Air Force and Navy. We're just going to go over and start nuking the Middle East. Fuck them. We're just going to go over to the Middle East and start nuking them ourselves. We'll probably start with Mecca. And then, again, Texas being Texas, when the outrage in the Muslim world goes up, any city that we see burning a Texas flag will probably nuke them too.
Hate speech.
So when I see that woman walking by wearing her hijab, texting, ignoring the person there on the ground, while wearing a symbol that says, "I will not conform to your society and your way of life. I am okay with being oppressed because that's my path to paradise." That's your potential terrorist. That's what that is. That is a terrorist factory. And I'm just going to call it like it is. She's a terrorist factory. That's what her room is. She's going to raise her children in a belief not to conform to this way of life. They think what she's texting is Allahu Akbar.
Hate speech.
We have every right to kill them. Their lives belong to us the moment they cross that border, to do with as we please from a legal perspective. They are in our country illegally. If we want to shoot them in the head, we can do that. It's beautiful. And that's exactly what we should do to the ones we catch who can't work. They're not capable of working that 10 years, and fine, just get rid of them. You know, 9mm bullet to the head in a ditch, problem solved. We could let them pick between execution or 10 years indentured servitude. We could put collars around their neck with a little small explosive device. If they try to take the collar off, run too far from a sensor, or if they try to rebel or become aggressive, you give the wardens the ability to press the button and detonate it. Screw them. We're clearly the superior ones, and they're only trying to denigrate us because they're scared of us. Maybe we need to just get rid of all of them. I have a good business relationship with YouTube and Google. You want to stop this voter fraud, that's how you stop it. You execute these people on national television. I'm sorry, we need to treat voter fraud the same way. How is that any different? That's trying to completely undermine the election process, the democratic process in a free country. I think that should be punishable by death, and that would include this woman. So people are saying it's too harsh. No, I think it's too harsh that the American citizens got to pay for her for 8 years. She's not even one of our citizens. I say they put a bullet in her head on national television and set an example. Put a bullet in her head and then fling her body over the wall with a catapult back over to Mexico for them to deal with. I think that would be fair. I make a good living off my main YouTube. I have a good business relationship with YouTube and Google. Vaccinations, food, foreign aid, all of these things for populations that are only they contribute nothing to the human cause at all. Okay, how can we cut the population in half in this region over here? How do we do it humanely, at least? You know, we don't want to just come in and drop mustard bombs, but how can we do it humanely? And they're not doing anything. These populations are growing rapidly in the third world.
But as far as the Native American thing goes, look, while it was a horrible thing, I, for one, am grateful that it happened, because if it hadn't happened, then I wouldn't have been born. I wouldn't be here. And you know, if 1 million people got to die for me to live, I can live with that. I don't know.
When users violate policies repeatedly, like our policies against hate speech and harassment.
I make a good living off my main YouTube. I have a good business relationship with YouTube and Google. And it's so weird that people bring this up because do they live in some world where they think it's illegal to shoot someone just because they're unarmed? So this idea of, oh, you can't shoot someone because they're unarmed is absurd, it's illogical, and it's flat fucking stupid. When confronted in a physical conflict, I'm going to go from 0 to 100 immediately. So it's in my best interest, because I like to avoid court if possible, to completely avoid all conflicts, because I know that I'm going to shoot someone who I feel is a physical threat to me, and I'm not just going to shoot them one time. I also know that I have a lot of weapons and that I train on them. Everyone knows I walk around armed, and I've told people repeatedly if they come up and punch me, I'm going to kill them.
Take what? I'm taking footage right now. Live video.
Where's this fucking pussy? Dude, every one of these people who talk shit about me on the internet are pussy as fuck, and they're not real. They're not real. I came out here when the dude said he would be here, ready to blow his fucking brains out. Blow his motherfucking brains out, legally, because he's stalking. I wouldn't do a day in jail for it. Haven't you seen all the videos of me running people off with an AR from my home? Have you seen me keeping people's driver licenses at AR-15 point? All these brothers showing up at my house? No, you got your ID on before you get the fuck out of here. I have a good business relationship with YouTube and Google. I make a good living off my main YouTube.
We terminate their accounts.